Chapter 9, Mishnah 3. Once the work of collecting the olives in the vat is finished and the owner no longer intends to add any more olives, the olives in the vat are all prepared to become tame, because they got wet when olive water oozed on them, to the owner's satisfaction. Thus, if tame liquids, for example tame water, later fell on some of these olives, all the olives in the vat are tame, even those that did not touch the tame liquid. This is because the tame liquid touches the olive water in the vat and makes the olive water tame. Since the olive water touches all the olives, it makes them all tame. Since the beginning of the chapter, the Mishnah has been discussing when olive water that oozes from olives is considered oil. The next Tana holds that it is never considered oil. Regarding the olive water that oozes from these olives that have all been collected in the vat, Rabbi Eliezer rules it tahor. According to Rabbi Eliezer, the liquid that oozes from olives on its own is never considered oil. Thus, even though these olives have all been collected, their liquid does not prepare them for tuma, nor can the liquid become tame. But the sages rule it tame. According to the sages, olive water that oozes from the olives after the owner has finished collecting them in the vat is considered oil. It can become tame, and it prepares the olives for tuma. The next Tana has a different version of the dispute between Rabbi Eliezer and the sages. Rabbi Shimon said Rabbi Eliezer and the sages, did not argue about the olive water that oozes from the olives before they are pressed. All agree that that liquid is tahor, that is, it is not considered oil. It cannot become tame and does not prepare food for tuma. Rather, what did they argue about? About the moisture that comes from the pit. When olives are pressed, their oil collects in a pit. After the oil is removed from the pit, there remains at the bottom of the pit some moisture, which contains drops of olive oil, but has a water consistency unlike regular olive oil. The dispute between Rabbi Eliezer and the sages concerns this liquid. For Rabbi Eliezer rules it tahor. Rabbi Eliezer does not consider this liquid to be like oil, even though it contains droplets of actual oil. Therefore, this liquid cannot become tame, and it cannot prepare food for tuma. But the sages rule this liquid tame. In the sages' view, the olive water that remains in the pit is categorized as olive oil, because there are droplets of olive oil mixed with it. Therefore, this liquid can become tame and prepare food for tuma.